May Allah's peace, mercy, and His greetings be upon you. Today, we will talk about one of the most important prophecy of the Old Testament, about the coming of Prophet Muhammad and his nation as well. Abdulahad Darwood, the former priest of Jeremiah, said about it, "It may be the most wonderful and clearest prophecy about the prophetic mission to the greatest man on earth and the final messenger. So, I recommend you to watch the episode to its end. May Allah bless you." Fortification of the Muslim Mind. Translation by mamarduvic.94@gmail.com. Jerusalem has been and remains a great city, ruled by God's greatest prophets such as David and Solomon Kibbut, and in which pure doctrine of monotheism prevailed. However, after a period of time, sorts of paganism started to spread quickly. Corruption and deviation started to spread around the children of Israel. Allah the Almighty said that He will exchange His grace upon them, and they will be captured by other nations. Already, in the 6th century BC, the children of Israel were captured and exiled to Babylon by King Nebuchadnezzar. In the city of Babylon, the city of exile, there was one of the greatest prophets of the children of Israel, Daniel. Some of hadiths were narrated about him. Daniel is the prophet that the companions of Prophet Muhammad buried him, Daniel, hundreds of years after his death, as we will explain now. The strange thing of that prophet Daniel that is he saw a peculiar vision dream. He saw that 4 empires will rule and prevail earth, and the city of Jerusalem will remain belonging to those successive empires. After those 4 successive empires, a great prophet will appear. This was how Prophet Daniel saw in his vision. This great prophet will bring monotheism again to earth, and his nation will triumph over those empires and rule the city of Jerusalem. So, who is this prophet that Daniel brought glad tidings about, and what's with the vision he saw which still exists in the Bible that Jews and Christians have? It was narrated about Prophet Muhammad that he said, "Whoever guides to Daniel, give him the good news that he will enter paradise." The transmission chain of that hadith must be taken into consideration, not authenticated. However, when the companions of Prophet Muhammad conquered the city of Shushar, they found in the house of Hormuzan a great man lying on a bed, and nothing has changed of him, even though he died hundreds of years ago. They asked for him from everyone, and they know that he was Prophet Daniel. When the people of Shushtar were deprived from rain, they took the bed of Prophet Daniel and sprang it up. Then rain would fall. The companions of Prophet Muhammad sent a message to Caliph letter 2bfumr letter 2beibn al letter 1e2b letter 1e60 letter 1e60 macron b to ask him what to do this the corpse of that great prophet. So they dug up 13 scattered grave. Then they buried him in one of them at night, lest people should find him and be put to trial by him. People may be inseparable from him besides Allah. Also, the companions of Prophet Muhammad found near Daniel's bed a book contains prophecies. That book contained prophecies about things that will occur in the coming days. So they took it and sent it to Caliph letter 2bfumr letter 2beibn al letter 1e2b letter 1e60 letter 1e60 macron b. That book of prophecies is a book exists in the Torah, book of Daniel. The book of Daniel still exists in the Bible so far. The book of Daniel starts with a strange vision that King Nebuchadnezzar. That vision got his mind and he didn't know how to interpret. So, he sent to the wise, elders, orders, wizards, and fortune tellers in an effort to find an interpretation to that vision, but they were required to tell him first the vision he saw, then interpret it. This means that who interprets the vision will say, "The king saw a vision of such and such and its interpretation is such and such." No one came forward to interpret the vision because of that requirement. Prophet Daniel, as one of the people that King Nebuchadnezzar brought for help, asked the king to give him some time so that he could pray and supplicate to Allah the Almighty. After some time, he returned to the king and said to him, "I will tell you the vision you saw and then interpret it." It's mentioned in the Bible, the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verses 27-48. Daniel replied, "No wise man, enchanter, magician, or diviner can explain to the king the mystery he has This means that Daniel told the king that no one knows what he had seen vision, but God revealed to him about it. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in days to come. This means that vision is a prophecy will occur in the coming days. Your dream and the visions that passed through your mind as you were lying in bed are these. Your Majesty looked, and there before you stood a large statue, an enormous, dazzling statue, awesome in appearance. The head of the statue was made of pure gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of baked clay. Daniel continues, while you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. Pay more attention to these verses. While you were watching, a rock was cut out, but not by human hands. This means it appeared by God, not by humans. It struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver and the gold were all broken to pieces. But the rock that struck the statue became a huge mountain and filled the whole earth. This means that the rock that struck the statue became a great nation. This was a dream, and now we will interpret it to the king. Now Prophet Daniel will start interpreting this vision. Daniel says, Your Majesty, you are the head of gold. The kingdom of Babylon that Nebuchadnezzar ruled is the head of gold. After you, another kingdom will arise, inferior to yours. This means, after the kingdom of Babylon, a new kingdom will arise. Next, a third kingdom, one of bronze, will rule over the whole earth. Finally, there will be a fourth kingdom, strong as iron. But this will be a divided kingdom. So this kingdom will be partly strong iron and partly brittle clay. In the time of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. Everybody pay attention, nor will it be left to another people. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end, but it will itself endure forever. This means it will remain till the end of days. The God of heaven will set up a kingdom that will never be destroyed. So, this means it refers to a nation supported by God the Almighty, nor will it be left to another people. This means no other enemy will control over it but one of themselves. It will crush all those kingdoms and bring them to an end. This means a nation will arise and crush those four kingdoms. But it will itself endure forever. This means that its legislation will remain till the judgment day. This is the meaning of the vision of the rock cut out of a mountain, but not by human hands. This means it appeared by God, not by humans. A rock that broke the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver and the gold to pieces. It crashed the four kingdoms. After Nebuchadnezzar heard those words, then King Nebuchadnezzar fell prostrate before Daniel. He made him ruler over the entire province of Babylon and placed him in charge of all its wise men. The characteristics of the rock that was cut out but not by human hand is that it will be a great nation. It will defeat all of these kingdoms, and it will remain till the judgment day. That prophecy has been fulfilled. 4 giant empires arose and ruled earth. After that, Islam arose and defeated all of them and bring back the doctrine of monotheism. But, to be fair, that prophecy remains as ambiguous. It needs more details. It needs clearer features, so that we can make sure that the intended one that arose after the 4 empires is Islam. From where would we get such details and features? Here's the surprise. After a few years of Nebuchadnezzar's vision, Prophet Daniel himself saw the same vision that Nebuchadnezzar had seen. But with more specific details and clearer features. And the angels interpreted that vision for him. Prophet Daniel saw in his dream the 4 empires and the great prophet. Let's have a look at the vision that Daniel saw. It's mentioned in the Bible, the book of Daniel. The four beasts are the four kingdoms. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. And there before me was a second beast, which looked like a bear, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. And there before me was another beast, one that looked like a leopard, and on its back it had 4 wings like those of a bird. This beast had 4 heads. Pay attention, the third kingdom has 4 heads. And there before me was a fourth beast, terrifying and frightening and very powerful, an oppressive kingdom, and it had 10 horns. The fourth kingdom is savage and barbarous. It has 10 kings by which it devours the believers. What is that kingdom? We will shortly mention it. Daniel continues, while I was thinking about the horns, he was looking at those 10 horns. There before me was another horn, a little one, which came up among them. So we've got now 11 horns. 11 kings, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn king is the most corruption. It will spread blasphemy, falsificate the doctrine, and speak boastfully. For the other 3 horns empires, the other beasts have been stripped of their authority, but were allowed to live for a period of time. This means that they have become small countries for a period of time, and no longer empires, till the great nation comes, which will crush of those countries. Daniel continues, in my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man, coming with the clouds of heaven, the rock that will come at the end of days. He approached the Ancient of Days, and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All nations and peoples of every language worshipped him. This means that prophet will be given prophethood and legalization. He will be a warrior prophet, and all nation will obey him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed. This means that his legislation will remain till the judgment day. Prophet Daniel was surprised by that vision, so one of the angels interpreted it to him. The angel told Daniel and gave him the interpretation of these things. The 4 great beasts are 4 kings that will rise from the earth. The appearance of Son of Man, the rock that will become a mountain, is a glad tiding of a great nation. But the holy people of the Most High will receive the kingdom, and will possess it forever, yes, forever and ever. They will have authority and legalization because they are supported from God the Almighty till the judgment day. And here, Daniel stopped at the 4th beast. That 4th kingdom that has 10 horns, 10 kings. And who is the 11th horn that will say heresy and blasphemy? This is the focus of the video. If we know the 11th horn kind, and the time that horn will rule till, we'll definitely know the nation that will arise after its time. The nation, the holy people of the Most High, who will bring the doctrine of monotheism to earth again. So, we must know who the 11th horn is. The horn that looked more imposing than the others, and that had eyes and a mouth that spoke boastfully. That horn will adopt heresy and spread blasphemy. This horn was waging war against the holy people and defeating them. These are its qualities. It fights against believers, speaks boastfully, and falsifies the pure doctrine of monotheism, until the Ancient of Days came and pronounced judgment in favor of the holy people of the Most High. This means that he gave land and legalization to the faithful nation that follows the doctrine of monotheism, and the time came when they possessed the kingdom. This means that nation will defeat the kingdom of the 11th horn, and God will help them conquer the countries. Pay more attention, please. At the beginning, there would be 10 kings from the 4th empire. They will oppress the monotheists. After that, 3 kings will fall before the 11th horn king. So, signs of that 11th emperor is that 3 emperors will fall before him. He will defeat 3 emperors. He will speak with blasphemous words against the Most High, and he will falsify the doctrine. I wonder, when will the monotheism The nation that Prophet Daniel prophesied. It's mentioned in the Bible, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times and half a time. That empire will rule earth for a time, times and half a time. This means a century, 2 centuries and half a century, which is equal to 350 years. A time, times and half a time equals 350 years. A time is a biblical unit that's equal to a century, 100 years. It's mentioned in the Bible, the Apocalypse of Abraham, chapter 28, verse 5. After 350 years, the last nation will come, the holy people of the Most High, whose religious law will remain till the judgment day, and they will have the kingdom of that emperor. This was the end of Daniel's strange prophecy. What happened in the history of nations after that prophecy? The strange thing is that everything mentioned in that prophecy has been fulfilled, and in the same way that Daniel saw in his vision. Before applying that prophecy to the historical incidents that followed, a layman may ask, how did you know that the book of Daniel is old? How did you know that it was written hundreds of years before Christ? Maybe it was written recently. The book of Daniel is written around 500 BC. This is historically indisputable. This book is in the Septuagint Greek translations of the Old Testament, which was written 3 centuries before Christ. When Josephus, a famous historian in the 2nd century AD, approached the topic of Daniel's vision, he mentioned the 4 kingdoms. Josephus also said that the rock which will destroy the statue hasn't appeared yet. The rock that will strike the 4 empires hasn't appeared yet. So people were waiting for the prophecy to see how it would occur. They were also waiting for the nation that will bring the doctrine of monotheism back to all mankind. And now, we will apply the vision that Daniel saw to the historical incidents that happened. Prophet Daniel was raised in the kingdom of Babylon. So Babylon is the first beast kingdom that Daniel saw in his vision. The winged lion was the symbol of the Chaldean kingdom of Babylon. This symbol, the lamashu, is found on the Babylonian temples so far. After this beast, the Chaldean kingdom of Babylon, the Persian Empire arose. So, the Persian Empire arose after the Babylonian Empire and it conquered it. The 3 ribs that the second beast had in his mouth means that the Persian Empire will rule lands from the 3 continents. Though the third beast, the third empire in Daniel's vision, is the kingdom of Alexander the Great. His kingdom emerged after the Persian Empire. So, we have the Babylonian kingdom, then the Persian Empire, then Alexander the Great so far. According to Daniel's prophecy, that empire has 4 heads. The 4 heads stands for a split in the kingdom. After Alexander the Great had died, his empire was split into 4 kingdoms. This is known historically. And the symbol of tiger refers to the rapid spread of that kingdom. Though the 4th beast, the 4th empire in Daniel's vision, is the Romanian Empire. The Romanian Empire had 10 horns. 10 Roman emperors will oppress the monotheists. This actually happened. 10 Roman emperors oppressed the monotheist Christians. In the first 3 centuries after Allah had raised Jesus Christ to himself. Therefore, the persecution of Christians at the hands of the Roman emperors is called the 10 persecutions. This is a known matter in the history of Christianity. These are the names of the 10 Roman emperors who persecuted the monotheism Christians. After the 10 emperors, the 11th horn emperor will appear. The worst Roman emperor throughout the era of the Romanian Empire. 3 emperors will be uprooted before that emperor. 3 horns will be uprooted before that horn. That 11th emperor will spread blasphemy. He will say words against the Most High. I wonder, who is this emperor? According to the history of Christianity, after the 10 persecutions, Constantine the Great appeared. So, Constantine the Great is the 11th horn. That emperor overcame his 3 rivals. He defeated the 3 horns. He defeated each of these 3 emperors: Maxentius, Maximinus, Roman II, and Licinius. That emperor defeated those emperors, and ruling the empire has settled for him. I wonder, how did that emperor utter words of blasphemy boastfully? He will speak against the Most High. This means that he will say blasphemous talk and oppress his holy people. This means that he will fight against monotheists and try to change the set times. This means that he will change the times of the holy days. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times and half a time. The previous verse means that his tyranny will last for a century, 2 centuries and half a century. That's about equal to 350 years. What did Constantine the Great do? Did he really speak against the Most High? Did he really oppress the holy people, fight against the religion, and change the times of the holy days? Did he do that? Yes, he did all of that. That emperor called together for the most serious council in human history, Council of Nicaea, in 325 AD. At that council, pure doctrine of monotheism was spoiled that Prophet Jesus came with. Also, Constantine compelled the Christian nations to idolize Jesus Christ. He also started the journey of persecution of monotheist Christians. It was Constantine who changed the times of the holy days. The early Christians sanctified Saturday. However, Constantine abolished it and made Sunday as the holy day. Defying monotheism hasn't occurred since the era of Prophet Adam, as it has during the era of Constantine. Persecution of monotheists remained as an approach through the era of the Romanian Empire. It remained like that for 3.5 centuries. For a time, times and half a time. What actually happened after 3.5 centuries since the time of Constantine? If we add 3.5 centuries to the time Constantine took office, which is around 300 AD, we get 650 AD. 650 AD is the time when the Islamic State reached its glory. It's the time when Muslims conquered the city of Jerusalem. It's the time for spreading monotheism on earth. Since the era of Prophet Daniel, the doctrine of monotheism was brought back to earth, ruling and legislating. Muslims were given the kingdoms of earth in the same way just as Daniel prophesied. It's not just that. Rather, Muslims captured the city of Constantine itself. They captured Constantinople, the capital city of Constantine, which was named after him, Constantinople. Constantinople was the capital of the Eastern Romanian Empire. Constantinople was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, and it became an Islamic city. Muslims have captured the kingdom of the 11th century just like Daniel prophesied. But the holy people of the Most High will receive the kingdom and will possess it forever, yes, forever and ever. Yes, Prophet Daniel, we captured the kingdom. Not only Muslims captured Constantinople, but no one else demands it also. Constantinople has become an Islamic city, and nations no longer claim it, and will possess it forever, yes, forever and ever. Then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be handed over to the holy people of the Most High. Yes, Prophet Daniel, it was given to the holy people of the Most High. Prophet Muhammad says, in the authenticated hadith, "The first army amongst my followers who will invade Caesar's city will be forgiven their sins." The Islamic nation has dominated all kingdoms of earth. They defeated the 4 beasts just like Daniel prophesied. Babylon, Persia, Levant, and Constantinople have been conquered. Islam spread to the great kingdoms from China to Spain. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom. Green color shows these increasing numbers of Sunni Muslims. Sharia divine law will remain till the judgment day. Allah, the Almighty, says in the Noble Qur'an Macron in chapter 30 Surah Al-Rum, verse 56, "Indeed ye did tarry within Allah's decree to the day of resurrection. Islam will never vanish. Islam will remain as the only monotheistic religion on earth. Like it or not, Islam will enter every city and village." Prophet Muhammad says, in the authenticated hadith, this matter Islam will keep spreading as far as the night and day reach, until Allah will not leave a house made of mud or hair, but will make this religion enter it, while bringing might to a mighty person, a Muslim, and humiliation to a disgraced person who rejects Islam. Muslims have and continues to capture kingdoms against their will. This vision, Daniel's, cannot be applied to any nation but the Islamic nation, neither for chronological timing nor description of events. The Son of Man who will bring monotheism back. After 3.5 centuries since the era of Constantine, wasn't and won't be no one except Prophet Muhammad. Muhammad was the rock that Nebuchadnezzar saw. He was the rock that smashed the statue and crushed the pagan kingdoms. Prophet Muhammad says about himself in the authenticated hadith, "I am that brick and I am the last of the apostles." May Allah's blessings be upon Muhammad, his family, his companions, and upon those who followed his religion. Amen. For today's assignment is to continue reading the book of Prophet Muhammad as it's mentioned in the books of Jews and Christians by Abulahad Darwood, the former priest of Jeremiah. Till the next episode, we will read till the end of the first chapter, page 123. Thanks for listening. May Allah reward you well. I hope you will share this video so that may Allah benefits those who seek the truth. May Allah bless you. May Allah's peace, mercy, and His greetings be upon you. O Lord, the most generous, the Lord of the sacred places and masjids. To Thee I came humble, shady and repentant. O Lord, the most generous, the Lord of the sacred places and masjids. To Thee I came humble, shady and repentant. I came invoking prayers only to Thee, wishful and fearful. My heart and mouth supplicate. I give thanks to Thee. Thank Thee for your blessings you gave me. I invoke prayers only to Thee, wishful and fearful. My heart and mouth supplicate. I give thanks to Thee. Thank Thee for your blessings you gave me. Your visitors, pilgrims, have dwelt in the sanctuary during the sacred months of the year. To Thee I came in their caravan. Seeking the snow and hail of forgiveness I came. To the snow and hail of forgiveness I came. O Lord, the most generous, the Lord of the sacred places and masjids. To Thee I came humble, shady and repentant. There are different people who invoke prayers only to Thee. You are the one who controls the fate of all of us. Purity lies here, tears and remorse as well.